What's up, boys and girls? It's your boy back with another reaction video. I will be reacting to four freaky true camping horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Or should I say from Mr. Nightmare? I'll be putting a link in the description of the video so you can go check out his channel if you haven't already. But he's a good narrator, so go check him out. Camping. I've never been camping. I wanted to go, but never been. I actually had the opportunity to go like last year. So I think, what was it, last year or the beginning of this year? I can't remember. But some friends, a friend of mine, asked me if I wanted to go camping. I wanted to go, and he was like, you ain't gotta worry about the cabins. He already paid for it, and because somebody else dropped out, but they had already paid. So he was like, well, you can just take their spot. You ain't gotta pay for that because they already paid for. He said you gotta pay. I think he said for the boat and stuff like that. Could have went, but I don't know. I just felt weird and awkward. I don't know why. Maybe I'll become a shut-in. I don't know. I'll become a weirdo. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. I don't know why, but I think it's I just didn't feel like traveling and going anywhere. Cause I looked on. It's like wasn't even like I couldn't afford a flight. I was like, oh, these flights. I thought I wouldn't want to be able to afford. I was like, oh, this flight's actually kind of cheap. But I've always wanted to go camp. I've been in the woods like a lot especially when I was a kid, but never went camping. One day I'll go. Then when I get rich and buy an RV, so I can be out in the woods in luxury, just as nature intended. So, anyway, get into this. Right, here we go.
Number 4. This happened during
Dang,
a
you
Boy Scout
started
camp out
right
when I
at
was
number
15.
4.
My friend, who was supposed to share the tent with me, called out from the trip at the last minute, so that meant I had to pitch the tent and sleep in it alone. The sun was going down, and after a long day of hiking, we got back to camp to set up our tents. It was already dark at that point, and I was still trying to set it up. It wasn't as easy doing it yourself. Someone came over and finally helped me, and then we ate dinner. After the cliched telling of scary stories around the campfire, we all went to sleep. I guess I was a little happy that I
I
had
like
my
how
own tent
movies
at that
have
point
made this
since I had
cliche.
more room. I fell asleep quickly, but woke up in the
Made
middle
this
of the night to
cliche
the
in
sound of
real
somebody
life.
stomping around my tent. I immediately assumed it was another scout going to take a leak or something. You may be thinking that all our tents were pitched right next to each other, but our scoutmasters actually had us pitch our tents far apart, so I was pretty far from my closest scoutmates. The
That
stomping
seems
around the
weird.
tent seemed to just be going around in a circle, so at that point, I was sure somebody was messing with me. I asked who it was, and in response to that, they stomped off into the woods. I almost found myself going out and following them, but I figured it wasn't worth it and just tried to
Almost,
fall back
I
asleep.
almost found myself
But
being
after
a
that, it was hard
dumbass,
to.
but I decided
Sure
to
enough, the
not
stomping
do
came
that.
back and started circling the tent again. I was pissed off now, so I got up and unzipped the door to the tent. I was expecting to see another scout,
Who
but
are
when I
you?
confronted the person making the noise, instead I saw a grown man, probably 6'5", in his mid-30s. My heart was racing and I couldn't even gather up the courage to scream. The man gave me a creepy smile and then brought his finger to his lips, signaling for me to be quiet. I did a quick 180 and sprinted to my scoutmaster's tent, screaming like a baby. He ran out before I even
His
reached the
hands
tent,
all
and I told him
bloody
about the
too,
man I
blood all
saw.
over them.
He and the other scoutmaster ran over to my tent with one of the hunting rifles, but they didn't find the man. They did, however, pick up on the tracks the man left walking around the tent. We were all told to bring our tents closer together, like literally right on top of each other. The trip
Should have
was
did
cut
that in the
short the
first
next day
place.
and we all went home. I have never gone camping since, and I never will again. Number 3. So me and a couple of my buddies went camping last summer
Damn,
alongside the Willamette
he trying
River.
to quick rapid
We
fire
actually had a
through
decent
these.
hike into the deep end of woods. We did some night fishing, listening to music, and basically drank to the point where everything was funny later in the night. I would guess we finally called it a night somewhere past 2 a.m. I shared a tent with one of my buds, while the other two shared another tent. We heard them laughing about something. At first we laughed at the sound of their laughing, but it soon got annoying and we yelled for them to shut up. One of them responded, "It isn't us." I sat up, startled at the response.
I thought that was
I
you.
came to realize that it was the sound of only one person laughing, and it didn't sound like either one of my friends.
The fucking Joker.
Even in my drunk state, I realized how odd it was for somebody to be out this far in the woods so late at night.
Yeah, even worse, it's Jared
The
Leto's
laughing gradually got closer and louder to our campout. My friend shot up and looked at me with a worried look on his face. I heard my other friends scream over to us that they were getting freaked out. As the laughing got even closer, I could make it out very clearly to be the laugh of a male, probably in his 30s or 40s.
I like how they just
It
guess these
sounded like he
people's
was
ages.
as drunk as us, messing around with friends.
Must be
But we only heard his
37
laugh,
to
nobody
52.
else. There was something indescribably creepy about his laugh,
I'd
too,
have been like, it's
as if
time
it
to
was
go.
missing something to it. You had to be there to understand what I mean. The laughing was now just at the edge of our campsite,
I feel like I've seen this too.
but we couldn't hear any footsteps at all. Now that may not seem like a big deal. It was impossible to move through that without making noise. And finally, all of a sudden, the laughing stopped completely. We had no idea where whoever that was standing, as he hadn't made a single stepping sound. We sat there in silence looking at each other. My friend was clearly freaking out, but he was keeping it together the best he could. Finally, something broke the silence. The sound of something rubbing against the cottony fabric of the
light on
tent.
this thing.
I saw the outline of
it's
a
on
hand
me.
through the moonlight, pressing on the tent. We both screamed at the top of our
Thought
lungs
he's gonna
before
say
getting
he's
out of the
pressing
tent.
his dick. I
We
guess.
ran as fast as we could through the woods, our other friends following us. After about 5 minutes
That's
of
a
running,
sight
we
that I would
somehow
definitely
found our
run
car.
from.
I actually puked from running so much before taking the wheel. I don't condone drinking and driving, but I still believe we were just in this situation. By far the most horrific experience of my life. No idea who or what the hell that
As long
was,
as you
or
want
what
sloppy
they wanted.
drunk.
Number 2. After college, I went backpacking in the Canadian wilderness for a few weeks by myself. To put this in perspective, I was in the middle of nowhere. The nearest town was a 3-hour bus ride away,
Sheesh.
and I only saw one other person, who was from a distance. He was in a canoe, during the entire 7 days. I brought a few disposable cameras with me, as this was before digital cameras were too widespread. I took a lot of pictures. When I got home, I had them developed and took a look at them. The pictures were standard nature shots, until I got about halfway through my
He
first
took a
camera.
picture of somebody.
There were 2 pictures of me asleep in my tent in my sleeping
Oh
bag.
shit, that's
I
even
literally
worse.
freaked out when I saw it, and I had a complete breakdown. To this day, I have no idea how those pictures got taken. I haven't been camping since, and I sleep with my door open and my curtains shut, and I still get the paranoid feeling that whoever took those pictures is still watching me somehow. Number
Yeah,
1.
that's creepy.
My boyfriend and I decided to go out to the gorge for some quality time camping. We had always gone with several
Damn,
other
number
people,
one must
but
be
this
real
was the
long.
first time it was just us two. When we got out of our car to prep our gear for the mile hike back to the camping spot, 2 sketchy-looking dudes came out of the trailhead, eyed us, and went back onto their old-school Volkswagen camper van. I had a weird feeling, but shrugged it off and proceeded back to our camping spot. I had previously camped in the same area a handful of times, and I knew it pretty well. Once we got back there, I knew of a handful of different camping spots and proceeded to check them all out for the one that would be ideal for us. I noticed what looked like someone camping further up the hill, so I picked a spot a little further down where we'd most likely be out of sight. Not out of earshot though, as I heard him yelling with someone else back over on the trail. It was starting to get dark by the time we got everything set up, so I figured I'd start looking for firewood. Suddenly, this guy appears out of nowhere and asks us if we'd like any help and offered to sell us a bundle of firewood for $10. I laughed because we were in the woods, thus surrounded by wood, which I could pick up off the ground for free. He then said that I wouldn't find much because they'd already cleared it out over the past few weeks. Few
So
weeks?
I'll sell
I
you
asked him
some.
how long he'd been camping up there, and he said almost a month. I already had the creeps about him,
Okay.
and he claimed he was up there by himself. I asked him why I heard him yelling with someone then, and that he had referred to more people when he was talking about the wood. He stammered and was like, yeah, there's some dudes I know camping over there up on the other side of the river.
Yeah, but you about to
Then he
have a
proceeds to
deliverance
tell us that
moment.
he's been lonely since he arrived. He was from Pennsylvania, took a bus to Lexington,
Give a fuck,
and
are
had
you
been living in
lonely?
the woods back behind where I currently work.
What kind of
I knew
shit is
exactly
that?
where he was talking about because I saw some homeless people, immigrants, and drug addicts coming in and out of those woods every day. So basically, he was a homeless man who somehow got a ride out to the gorge and decided he would just live there instead. He had been living on snakes, bugs, and selling firewood for money. But he said we were the first people he'd seen in a few weeks. His stories were all over the place, and I knew he was lying about a lot of what he told us. He wasn't alone, even if he claimed to be. He even took us to his camp where there were tons of stuff for several guys, not just one. He said he liked camping up top where he could see everything, and everyone. Then showed up our campsite. He had a straight shot view. By now it was dark and he helped us get a fire going.
Oh no, I'd have
I was
left.
trying to politely get him on his way back up the hill so I could have a minute to process all of this. When he left, I started whispering to my boyfriend that there was no way in hell I could sleep with that lying, sketchy homeless creep right up the hill. We didn't have a gun, knife, or even a dog to protect ourselves if we needed to. My
You can
boyfriend
have a
somehow
knife?
convinced me to stay a little longer,
You went
so we
camping and you
planned
don't
to
have a
stay the night.
knife?
But all throughout the night, we heard twigs and branches snapping around our tarp, as if somebody was watching us. It was that man. I knew it was. He was standing out there, watching us. I said let's quietly get our shit together and get the
Doom,
hell out of there, which we
doom,
did,
doom,
only we left our new tarp set up
doom.
because they would make too much noise and he'd know we were leaving. As soon as I stood up with my pack, ready to get the hell out of there, he yells, "Leaving so soon?" We proceeded to get away from there as
Okay.
quickly as possible. The most disturbing
Leaving
thing,
so
as we were getting away
soon?
from there, the man yelled for us to come back.
Like,
That only made
who
us go even
says?
faster. In my mind, we were either getting robbed, raped, killed, or something, because
How
he
about
was
all
not
the
alone.
above?
His stories didn't add up, and his background of where he came from made me believe he was running from something and was trying to hide by living off the grid. I called the Rangers the next morning and told them about him. Luckily, all he got from us was a set of new tarps.
As always, thank you for watching. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. To just, like, yeah, this guy's walking around, come up here talking about something. Yeah, I'll sell you some wood. And I picked up all the other wood around here to try to force an interaction with people. So I see what they got. So I can decide whether I'm gonna come back and rob their ass and then horribly rape and or murder them. Or murder them and then rape them. But like I would have been like, okay. As soon as he would have left, I'd been like, yeah, we're gonna leave now. Yeah, because I don't know who that is, especially if we walked to his campsite and it was way too close. Like if we didn't walk for more than 30 minutes, I'm like, you'd be too damn close. Even though I wouldn't walk to somebody camp, I'd be like, how far is your camp? He's like 30 minutes away. Like, yeah, we're not going there. But if that was, he was telling the truth. But I don't see why he would lie about that. But I would not, if I walked to somebody's campsite and it's like 5-10 minutes from mine, I'm like, no, I don't know who you are. I don't have a gun. I don't have any knives. Like I said, they don't have a dog, like to protect them. And even if they did, if this person has knives and guns, he could just shoot the damn dog or stab him and then stab you. You know. So that they should have left immediately. And that other dude with the he said walking around this campsite. He's like, shut up. He was like, who was that? He's thinking his head dude like, Like, really? You think I'm gonna be quiet? I'm just gonna sit here? Like you walked around my tent. I heard you walking around circles around my tent. Then you walked away, and then you come back later on, and you walking around my tent again, and you look disgusting. Like, and you're like, shh, be quiet. Like, fuck no, I'm not gonna be quiet. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I would have started screaming right in there and hauling ass. I would I would have ran so fast that the other tents, I'd have ran past them and they would have come out the damn ground like the road runner. Like me running past them, just, all this shit would have blew and followed me. I would have been gone. Like I probably wouldn't even stopped and knocked on anybody's tent. I would have just, I mean, I wouldn't have stopped and like started a conversation. Like, hey, there's a person. I'd have been like hitting the tents, like that's your one. Run. Like I don't. Like, these. I mean, he did right. He left and went and got the what is that, Scoutmasters or whatever. But they had guns. So yeah, if they had guns, I guess I would get because at least, and I was the one who has a weapon. That way, if they get taken down, I can pick the weapon up. But I would have to take something with me in the woods. Like when I walked even when I was in Chicago. Well, where I'm at now. When you walk in the forest preserves, I carry like a stick or something. Usually you carry that for dogs because people will literally go there and they just take their dog off the leash. Like I guess because you in the fucking woods, like, oh, the dogs return to nature. Like, if you have a dog that bites people, they don't just take your dog off the fucking leash and just let them run. This isn't a dog park. We know what's fenced in. The dog could literally run out of the where the cars come in and out in the street. Like, why would you? Like, people are stupid. But because I've had a dog. I was walking through a forest preserve front, and a dog came running up on me and just said that barking. And every time I try to like go around it, it would bark and growl. And when I was a kid, I was terribly afraid of dogs. Like it was a horrible fear of dogs. And I think they never like try to like bite me, but it's almost like they would smell the fear and immediately start barking. They just like, oh, and they would never come up on me. They would just keep their distance, just keep barking. But I was like, yeah, a little older, I was like, I'll beat this dog ass, but if he could jump up on me. But yeah, plus I ended up getting 2 dogs when I was like 13. Two little chows. But yeah. I have to go in the woods with something. I mean, I would hope to have a gun. Like I would go buy a gun. Hey, I'm going camping. I'm going to go get a gun. I may not have a concealed carry at the time if I didn't have time to get one. But then I wouldn't, conceal carry. I would just have it, with me. I just wouldn't have it on. But then, well, I guess if you're in the woods, then I don't give a fuck. Unless a park ranger come out there, do you have a permit for that? I'm like, but then I would just have a knife because I got plenty of knives. I got throwing knives. I got shurikens. I carry my fucking katana. I'll be bladed out. I'll be get my blade, get my hair cut like him, get tattoos just for a camping trip. Oh my. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction on it. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Hit that bell. You'll be notified when I upload new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.